Thank you, Lucy. Good morning, everybody. For those who don't recognize me, I'm usually sitting way back in the right corner back there. Shout out to the folks in the back right. Today is a special day for me because 12 years ago today, my wife Louise and I stood right here and made a commitment to each other and to God. Today is my 12th anniversary. And like with many of you, I'm sure, that commitment was one of the most important ones that I made in my life. But in actuality, Louise and I made two commitments that year because before our wedding, we became members of Trinity Presbyterian Church. Now, in the Presbyterianism 101 class that Rebecca and Lucy are teaching right now, it's phenomenal. If you've missed it, you should watch it online. Rebecca has recently reminded us of the covenant that is made between us and God when we proclaim our faith and our belief in Jesus Christ and we participate in the Holy Sacrament of Communion. And because Rebecca is a lawyer and 50% of the Trinity members are lawyers, she compared that covenant to a contract, and that stuck with me because I'm a lawyer. It's not just a promise of salvation by God to us. It's an agreement by both sides. It's a promise by us to be faithful, to love God, and to proclaim and do God's work. So whether you realized it then or now, when we became a member of Trinity, we also made a commitment, a covenant to Trinity. We would receive the benefits of this beautiful campus, its worship services, its pastoral care, its child care, and its incredibly gifted and dedicated staff members. And in exchange, we affirmed and committed that we would support Trinity and we would participate in the life of this church. So when Lacey Jordan called me a little over a year ago and asked me if I would serve on session, she told me that I could think about it, that I could take it home and talk to my wife about it and then get back to her. But I agreed right then and there on the spot that I would be happy to serve. Now, if I had known what all that would go into that, and that a year and a half later now I would be the assistant clerk taking minutes of every single meeting that we have once a month, I might have given it some further thought. But what I know now is that I had already committed to serving in that role the moment that I joined Trinity. In fact, I had promised that I would serve in whatever role when I was baptized at St. Andrew's Presbyterian when I was an infant. And if I hadn't agreed to do that thing that Trinity was calling me to do, I never would have realized how strong my relationship with God was, or how it could be. I couldn't receive the benefit of this church without fulfilling my promise first. And I may never have realized how much Trinity needs our financial commitment as well as our time. Oswald Chambers was a Scottish evangelist and theologian from the early 20th century, and he said the following about our covenant with God. It is the will of God that human beings should get into right standing relationship with him. And his covenants are designed for this purpose. Why doesn't God save me? He has accomplished and provided for my salvation, but I have not yet entered into a relationship with him. Why doesn't God do everything we ask? He has done it. The point is, will I step into that covenant relationship? All the great blessings of God are finished and complete, but they are not mine until I enter into a relationship with him on the basis of his covenant. When I have really transacted business with God on the basis of his covenant, letting everything else go, then there is no sense of personal achievement, no human ingredient in it at all. Instead, there is a complete, overwhelming sense of being brought into union with God, and my life is transformed and radiates peace and joy. Trinity is as healthy today as it ever has been since Louise and I have been members. And while that's a fantastic thing, it's a difficult thing when we're asking for the congregation to give more money. But I'll bring you back to the words that Louise and I said to each other and to God 12 years ago. We promised to love and to cherish for better and for worse, for richer and for poorer, in sickness and in health. Rebecca, Lucy, Norman, Tom, Elizabeth, and all the staff have brought Trinity to a better place, a richer place, and a place of great health. But it doesn't stay that way unless we fulfill our promise to Trinity. So I urge you to really transact business with God. Say I do without hesitation and enter into that relationship with Trinity. And I promise you will not be disappointed by the result. Thank you.